Oh, hey guys, how you doing? Got Conor McGregor still running around out here. It's kind of weird, kind of wonderful.
Wonderful.
We have a show to get to tonight. A lot of stuff to talk about. UFC 265 Fight Week is here. We're going to discuss that. Michael Chandler talking about some vax conversation with the UFC. What are they going to do with their future events? Doesn't sound good with that cop passing by. We have Big Mo live on the show talking about XMMA 2. And we'll be hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
I'll see you in the studio.
This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Aunt and Uncle Studios of Arizona, UFC 265 Fight Week, Lewis versus Gane. Predictions too. We also have vaccine talk. Yeah, we'll talk. Anyway, on the brighter side, we have Big Mo from XMMA 2 with the MMA-Holes. Yes. Welcome, everyone, to the show. It's Wednesday night, so here's the Wednesday show in our living room. We got the poster up, Lewis versus Gane. And yes, we have a lot of things to get to, a lot of MMA news. I know a lot of people are going back and forth with the whole vaccine thing, but the UFC is intertwined with this. Will they have an event at MSG? Will they be pushing people to get vaccines? We'll talk about that. But let's start off on something that's just wonderful here. XMMA 2, which was on our channel. We had a glorious time with our friends over there. And why not have the person, the man, the voice, the man who stole the show on Friday night, Big Fucking Mo. Welcome to the show, Big Mo.
What's up?
All right. It's good to have you back on the show. XMMA 2, I think, was a success. And I have to say this. XMMA 2, they better lock you up for the long term. You stole the freaking show. How did it go on Friday night?
First off, thank you so much. I thought it was great also. I thought it was a success. Looking back at the show, I thought that it was exciting. I thought the production level was high. I think there's a couple places to improve, which is awesome. That's always a good thing to have places to improve. We might talk about that a little bit, but working with the XMMA team was awesome. That I'll get into that as we get going with it, but the XMMA organization, top to bottom, is awesome. Hardworking people. They're dedicated to putting on a great promotion, and I thought it was great. I had an awesome time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, we'll talk about the technical difficulties later. But let's talk about the trip over to XMMA. What was it like, getting on the plane, packing the suit, the sunglasses?
Yep.
Did you have a special case for your sunglasses? What is it like traveling to these events, and XMMA 2 specifically?
Well, so first and foremost, I didn't get into this last time I did the last show, but when XMMA reached out to me, I didn't know much about them. There wasn't a whole lot of information. I know they had done one show before. Seemed like they had a good funding behind it. Seemed like they had good production level behind it, and they had a great card. So I decided to do it. And credit to them. And they actually talked to me about this, that they're taking a lot of pride in how they treat the fighters. That is a pillar of their organization, is how they treat the fighters, how they treat the people that are involved with their organization, whether it be staff, whether it be the announcer, the commentators, the ring girls. They treated everyone better than any promotion that I've ever worked with or ever seen before. And that includes how they treated me as well. The transportation was awesome. They were hands-on with everything. The flight was easy. Bopped over to South Carolina, my first time ever being in South Carolina. But no, it went really, really well.
It looks like your video just froze on us for a second here. Let me pop it back on. But it's good to hear that everything went smoothly on the way over to the facilities. The interactions we've had with XMMA have been absolutely wonderful. And the fact that they do this for free for the fans is a big... Oh, it looks like we lost connection. Okay. There we go. Hey, ready? It sounds like a submarine just came in. All right, let's put this over here. Looks like we lost his connection real quick. We'll put him back on. Get him back on the horn. There we go. Back in the sub. Good old Skype. You know, Skype is... a pain in my ass. Just going to say that. Might have to change to a different video call service, but let's see if we can get Big Bull back in here. Anyway, XMMA 2 happened on Friday night, and we aired it live on this channel, so if you missed the event, go back, check it out, and let us know what you think about it. If you were there, well, let us know in the live chat what you thought.
America, can you hear me?
Yes, we got you back. There we go.
Technical difficulties. My damn camera went out.
Yes.
Or
Listen,
internet, not camera.
it's the joys of live broadcasting. It's just it's amazing how things just fall apart on us on a regular. So we're used to it. All right, let's see if we can get. I'll put it over here until we get the video back in there. So, what your actual live camera just? You still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. No, my internet, not my camera. My internet went out.
Oh, okay. All right. No worries. All right, if we get the camera back on. Anyway, if you're just jumping in, we're live with Big Mo from XMMA 2, and we were discussing the travels over to the venue on Friday night. And look at this. See, look, we're having technical difficulties. Look at it.
Oh.
There we go. There he is. Yeah, so we were talking about how he traveled over there, and XMMA treated him like a champion, treated him like a gentleman, treated everyone very well. And something that we loved about dealing with XMMA is the fact that they do this for the fans. Like, the fans get to watch some free fights. So no matter what happens, I mean, we get to see fights for free. It doesn't get any better than that.
I agree completely. And I think there you go. Got my camera back working. No, it was, look, whenever these new organizations come out, and there's so many fight promotions that come out all the time, whether it be boxing, whether it be MMA, Muay Thai, etc. The reason why a lot of them end up failing, to just be quite honest, whether failing is one show and then they end, or 5 shows and they end, and they're not really long lasting. But the reason why a lot of them don't work out is they don't innovate. They don't really present anything that's a little bit different, that's a little bit new. And XMA is trying to do that. That's why they're doing the free shows. It's because they realize that they can get a different group of viewers in to watch their programming, and they can still, monetize however they want to monetize through advertising and stuff like that. That's why they're trying to make a splash with getting big name fighters on the card, that kind of stuff. I mean, I was thoroughly impressed. When I've worked with promotions in the past, sometimes communication is a bit of a breakdown. They don't always tell me what's going on. This team was on it. They were on top of everything, answering my questions weeks in advance, because I'm a prep guy. I'm a perfectionist with my work and stuff like that. They were awesome. The production meetings, they were in tune with it all. It was great. It was really, really good.
The glove touch is in the chat right now, and I know he went there and he sniffed you out in the crowd. How did you interact with it? Did he jump over the railing? How did he get a hold of you?
Well, no, I mean, I love interacting with the fans. I was high-fiving fans. I was dapping fans up. I'm there to have a good time too, and so he came up to the railing, basically ringside, and wanted to get a picture. So I got a picture with him. I still got to post that picture on social media because it's a good one. But no, it's I love interacting with the fans, and everyone seemed to be having a good time. So it was great.
It seemed like it had, and here's the glove touch with Big Mo hanging out. They're hanging with the boys together.
Hanging with the boys.
this event, and to piggyback off of what you were saying, and I don't want to make this like, I don't want people to jump in and say, hey, you guys work with them, that's why you can say nice things. You know me, chat. If I don't like something, I say it. And we'll get to the complaints I have later on.
Yep.
But the XMMA seems like a hybrid here. It's kind of bizarre. And when we had a phone call with them ourselves, their ideas, their plans for the future, like made our eyes light up, because we're like, this is super refreshing. The fact that they're trying to do this free stuff for the fans, and the way they're looking to monetize their promotion is something that no one's ever done before. They have that feel of a big production show with a regional kind of feel. Like when you go to a regional event, you feel like it's so intimate. You feel like you're right there. Everywhere you sit, you're part of the action. The interaction, like, for instance, the glove touch hanging out with you over here on the side of the cage. Like, that's actually really cool. Is this the direction that they're going in? Is this something that they're going to keep on going with, or do they want to follow like a UFC motto? Did they let you into any of this plans?
They did a little bit, and I like giving the inside scoop where it's appropriate, but I'm gonna put it like this. I've always been very interested in the production. Obviously, I work on the entertainment side of the sport and that kind of stuff, so I'm always very intrigued by what companies want to do that's creative. The vision that XMMA has is really cool. I'm not gonna lie, and they want me to be a big part of it, which is exciting for me just on a personal level. But no, in terms of where they go from a business or a financial standpoint, I don't know. That's really none of my business. But in terms of the entertainment, the production, the plans that they have set in place and how they want to grow, very, very innovative, very different from a lot of promotions that are out there. I mean, for example, one thing that I love that they're doing is they are piggybacking off of people that have a presence, or pages or groups that have a presence outside of just, live fights and live stuff like that. For example, they don't have to let you and Jesse commentate their fights. They don't have to let you stream them. They could do their own thing. But they understand that the MMA-Holes have established a community of now over 50,000 subscribers. Congratulations,
That's right.
by the way.
Thank you. Yes.
Congratulations. And so they understand that you have a pre-existing network of people, and you have a pre-existing community of people that they can tap into. That's so smart. That is very smart. They're doing it with other pages on Instagram. They had the MMA Island was there doing some media stuff. BTC was there doing some media stuff. So the way that they're piggybacking and being able to network into pre-existing communities is smart. And what that allows them to do is that allows them to grow at a much quicker pace than other organizations are. The thing is, with so many of these organizations, people try to put them in their own slot. They try to say, okay, like, here's the UFC, then you have Bellator's here, and then you have like the LFAs and the promotions and the UFC Fight Pass promotions that are in here, and everyone tries to line them up in different categories. XMMA is kind of in a world of its own, which is exciting because they're pulling fighters from other organizations. They had former UFC guys, former PFL guys, former LFA guys. They had all these different individuals, but their production's different. The fact that it's free is different. It's exciting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really, really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, me too. The sky's the limit, and you know what else is the limit? Those sunglasses. Let's get to these sunglasses here. How do you? I couldn't stop thinking about like Tony Ferguson when he wore the sunglasses. He trips over a cable and he's out of a huge UFC fight. You're just navigating in and out of the cage. Not a problem with those sunglasses. Are those special like nighttime sunglasses? How do you see?
No, I go off of appearance only, to be honest with you. Look, I'm used to them at this point. I want to give, and I think I gave a little bit of an explanation before, but it's amazing that the sunglasses, it's the number one thing that people notice, like bar none, the first thing that people pay attention to. And so there's a comedian that I like. I don't know if any of you guys like Bert Kreischer, the comedian, but Bert Kreischer does his stand-up without a shirt on. And he's a big husky guy, and he does it with no shirt. Hey, Jesse.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing
Slipping
well.
in right there.
And so he does his comedy without a shirt on. The jokes aren't any different. The jokes aren't any less funny. But it's just a visual cue that allows him to just be a little bit different and just to stand out a little bit. And so the sunglasses are the same thing for me. It's so funny, when I watch people or when I, read the comments or see what people have to say. It's almost like they have something to say about the sunglasses until I start announcing. And then they're like, oh yeah, this guy's, not just, a clown or a character. Like, he's just an announcer that wears sunglasses. That's all it is. So, I love wearing them.
You got the fancy suits, and the sunglasses are like, it seems like they're the key to the power here. Like, it once you put those things on, do you slowly slide them onto your head and say, okay, and now I'm Big Mo? Do you turn from Cody to Big Mo as soon as they slide on your face?
I wish it was like that, to where it was almost like a superhero alias thing. I'm always Big Mo. It's just that when I'm in the ring, it's part of what I do, and it's kind of just stuck at this point. So it ain't going anywhere, unless obviously if a promotion wants to hire me and tell me to take them off, then so be it. But XMMA likes them.
Like, say the UFC gives you a call, but who knows? I mean, you might be just the face of XMMA. They blow right past the UFC. It's not impossible here. But say the UFC gives you a ring. They say, hey, Bruce Buffer just had a heart attack. He's dead. We need you, Big Mo, to step in on short notice over here. But we're unsure about these sunglasses. Would you say, hey, listen, I really think this is a good move. Let's keep these sunglasses on? Would you try to stick to your guns? You'd be like, hey, I'm in the UFC. Let's do whatever you want.
I would listen. I would listen to them and take them off.
Oh,
and here's why. Here's why. My number one goal is to be on the biggest stage that I can and to entertain as many people as I can. So the thing is that obviously the UFC with their reach would allow me to do that. So if they didn't like the sunglasses, and at that point they'd be my employer anyway, yeah, I'd take them off. Like, understand, for the people that are watching this, like, I'm not sitting here like they're glued to my face. They're part of what I want to do. I like them. Not everyone likes them. For the most part, I feel like people like them. I'm curious what people in the comments have to say about them. But ultimately, my goal is to entertain. My job is entertain. I want to announce fights. So if a promotion has a problem with it or wants me to take them off, yeah, I'll take them off. It's not the end of the world.
I think if a promotion ever asked you to do that, I would think that they're afraid that you're going to be bigger than the promotion.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why someone would tell you to remove something from your character.
Yeah, that would be like an extreme compliment for them to tell you to take it off, because they might be a little nervous. I mean, Bruce Buffer's a big personality, but he's a company man. He goes around saying he's a company man. He's part of the team. He's not bigger than anything else.
Yeah.
But you have potential here. Maybe I'm nuts, but I have a keen eye for talent. Gotta kiss some ass here. But no, seriously, I feel like when I was watching XMMA, and hats off to them, the visuals were great. The first one, the second one, knockout job. But it just seemed like I was watching the Big Mo show. I literally felt like did you feel that, or am I crazy?
Yeah, I felt it.
Maybe because we had you on and I'm a little biased, but I did feel like, I'm like, when is Big Mo coming back out there? If a fight sucked, where's Big Joe? Drag Big Mo out. Let's get him to talk. Like, I felt like you stole the show here. So kudos to you for that.
I appreciate that, and I understand what you're saying, but I don't necessarily want that to be the intention while announcing. If for some reason my career takes me in a direction where I can have my own show, amazing, that'd be great. I think I said this before, but my ultimate goal in life is I want to host the Tonight Show. That's like a moonshot dream for me, right? But in the nature of announcing, I am a company man. In the sense of, a promotion is a team, right? Down to the commentators, the announcers, the ring girls, the cameramen, the whoever. The promotions, everyone plays a different role. So I play my own role. So at that point, I care about putting on a great show. And when the show started, like, for example, I was trying to help out where I could during the show to make sure that everything was going right. So ultimately, that's my goal, is to be a part of a team, a winning team that puts on a great show, and I play a role in that. So do I want to be bigger than the show? Probably not, because my role as an announcer doesn't necessarily allow for that. But, if other opportunities create themselves, then yeah, I'd be open to it.
This guy's got all the right answers. You should be you should be Mr. America, for God's sakes. I mean, you have all the right answers. We can't shake you at all, Jess. This is crazy. Anyway,
We'll get to the crazier questions, I'm sure.
I'm going to follow. If you're just jumping in, Big Mo is live with us. XMMA 2 was on Friday night. We had the pleasure of broadcasting it on our channel. Big Mo did a great job over there. XMMA 2 did a great job. If you missed it, run it back. A couple of videos back. You can check it out for yourself. Okay, so the ring girls. once again, hit it out of the park with these ring girls, prancing around. I did notice there were 2 ring girls at a time here. They were knocking into each other, the whole deal. Were they bumping into each other because they were checking you out? Were they getting distracted by Big Mo, front row?
I gotta say, I had an awesome time with the ring girls. They were great people, honestly. Again, the night of a show, we're all coworkers. So I was able to meet them. They were all really, really cool people. A lot of them were actually entrepreneurs, had their own brands going on. They were really into the promotion and the production side of everything. And I think the two, I didn't see anyone bump into each other, but you know, it comes with the nature of it. If they're interacting with the fans and they're trying to stay engaged with the fans, they might not, you know, be looking ahead all the time. So it happens, but they were awesome. Shout out to the XMMA ring girls. They were really, really cool people.
Now, what happened here? Did you look and say, hey, maybe this one over here stands out a little more than the other one? Did you try to, you know, go to the after party with one of them? What happened here? Were you completely professional?
No.
Okay.
I will never mix business with pleasure, ever, in my life. I think that's a recipe for disaster. I was there to work, as were they. So we had jobs to do. That's kind of how it goes.
I used to say the same thing. I would never mix business with pleasure.
Now look at us. We're fucked. We got a baby screaming in the other room. It's crazy. Stick to your guns.
I didn't do any stuff like that. I made friends with them. That's what I cared about.
There you go. All right, so you got their IGs, their phone, any phone numbers, or what do we get?
I mean, we follow each other on Instagram and stuff like that, but that's, again, I don't mess around with stuff like that.
I see a couple of little Mo's popping out in the near future, Jesse, if you know what I mean. So how about the after party? Was there an after party or anything like that? Or did you just come? I mean, it was probably a long day. What time did you start there and finish? Were you partying afterwards? Tell us about that.
I got to the arena probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I like to get there early just to I hate just sitting in the hotel room, man. I want to get to the arena. I want to get going with everything. Had to do sound checks. Want to make sure that everything was right technically on my side. I never want to be the reason why something goes wrong.
Sure.
I'll put it like that. So I want to get there early. I didn't end up getting back to the hotel till about 1:30 in the morning. And at that point, a lot of the area that we were in, South Carolina, everything was closing down. So it kind of, but what we did, it was actually really cool. We kind of just all partied in the lobby, and some of the fighters were there, and the XMMA team was there. We all just kind of hung out, and it was just good vibes, honestly, and that was cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Do I love to party? Yes. Do I love to go to bars every now and then and some clubs? 100%. But in the moment, it was cool. I was tired anyway. I had an early flight, so it worked for me.
There you go. Now, what about the fights here? I mean, we've seen some good fights. The prelims actually shocked the hell out of me. These kids turned up in the prelims, and we did notice that there was a little scuffle. Now, I don't remember what fight it was. Do you recall the fight? But there was something going on outside where the glove touch.
Oh, yes. The blue shorts.
I think that was the third fight, Jeremiah Scott and Zach Solo.
Yeah, the guy who looks like Masvidal, right?
So what happened from your perspective? What, like, was someone just calling out one of the fighters from the?
So I don't know the history, but I know originally, I believe Jeremiah Scott had a different opponent.
Okay.
And that opponent, for whatever reason, I don't know, backed out of the fight. And I guess after the fight was over, that fighter was talking to Jeremiah and talking smack, which I don't understand that. If you had an opportunity to fight him, why would you talk smack after? But whatever. So Jeremiah Scott got heated. Obviously, he lost. So I'm sure he wasn't in a great mood anyway. So that's basically what popped off. Fighters talk all the time. Again, I like it. It sells a fight. Hopefully they fight again next down the road. But no, to your point, the prelim fights were great. And I really enjoyed the prelim fights because a lot of them, there was a lot of local South Carolina talent. Again, props to XMMA too on this. I was talking to a lot of the local community. This was like the biggest show that South Carolina had ever had.
Wow.
And there's actually like a lot of established gyms down there. Wonder Boy trains down there. He trains with Sweeney, who was fighting, and his father, Don, was Sweeney's corner. I believe his name is Don. Don't hate me on that one, Wonder Boy, if I'm wrong on that. But, you know, there's a lot of good gyms down there. And so I was glad to see that South Carolina talent was represented. They were really excited for it. But, yeah, the prelim fights were bangers. The main card fights, again, I thought were really solid. I thought that there were a couple that, again, people talk about boring fights. It depends on who you are and what you enjoy. Again, I think 7 or 8 out of 11 fights were finishes. So if you like finishes, you can't really get mad at that. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was scratching my head when people were complaining about the Chris Curtis fight and Kenny Robertson. I thought it was a really good fight. I don't know, maybe because I'm biased towards Chris Curtis and I like his style or whatever. But people were like in the chat were like, "Oh, I'm falling asleep," and I'm like,
I will admit though, I expected a different version of Chris Curtis coming out that night. So I can understand why if people were probably like a little dissuaded from that fight or what had happened, because a lot of us expected him to come out, with fire.
Well, even he did. I mean, he sounded disappointed afterwards, but you got to give credit to Kenny Robertson.
Yeah.
The guy made it a scrap. It was way more competitive than I thought it would be.
No, it was a great fight. I mean, Chris got cut above his eye, and he got pieced up a little bit. And again, they were throwing hands. Props to Robertson for staying in there. I actually enjoyed that fight. So again, people like different stuff. Some people hate wrestling, some people love wrestling, some people want to just watch fighters stand and bang, some don't. So you're not going to please everyone. That's the reality of this game and this sport. So it happens.
We're live with Big Mo, XMMA 2, phenomenal announcing. Check it out on Friday night. We threw a stream out, and it was wonderful, wonderful. The cage. Let's talk about the infamous. They had toolboxes. They were trying to close this cage, and they couldn't get it closed to start the show. What was going on? The lock was broken, or?
So I am not a handyman. I don't know, to be honest with you. Again, everyone kind of plays a role in a promotion and a production. That's not my role, so I kind of stayed out of it. I never liked how people get involved in stuff that doesn't really apply to them or they don't really have any expertise in. So I backed off, let them handle it. Started a little bit late, is what it is. It's still a great show. From what I could gather, they had trouble closing the door. I don't really know what was going on.
Was it awkward for you standing there for like 20 minutes doing nothing?
Well, you got the camera time.
It's not awkward. I'm excited. I want to get going with everything. And when it's something small like that that's preventing the show from starting, I'm like, come on, and props to Eric Apple and Frank Mir for keeping the commentary going during that. And that's another thing that comes up is Chris Lytle couldn't commentate. So Frank Mir stepped in, and I thought Frank was awesome, to be honest with you. I loved working with Frank. It was the first time I've ever worked with Frank. He was cornering Chris Curtis, and so he was there. And not entirely sure what happened with Lytle, but they basically had to find someone last minute, and Frank had done media work in the past, and so he stepped right in, and I thought he sounded awesome.
I was actually surprised.
Meshed well.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't even know that was Eric Apple, by the way. I felt like an idiot afterwards.
I said
I'm like, holy
Eric
shit,
Apple
that was
on
Eric.
air,
It didn't sound. I sounded phlegmy. I didn't know.
You're like, no.
I sound like a guy. It didn't sound. We talked to Eric too. I feel bad now. Anyway, Frank Mir is a nice replacement there. I mean, you look at what he's done in his MMA career, and like you said, he's done stuff on Bellator as well with the commentary teams there. So that was actually shocking when we turned it on. We saw Frank Mir there, all swollen. It looked like he was left in the water a little bit too long. I'm not gonna. All right. Someone made the joke. I'm not gonna say it anyway. Listen, we're trying to be professional here, but all in all, that's a good grab.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting because I like letting everybody in on kind of the ins and outs of promotions and productions, but announcers more often than not have an earpiece tied to the commentary table.
Okay.
Because they're actually their cue. Really, when you look at commentators are kind of the quarterback of the entire promotion because they kind of carry. They're the only ones that really bounce back and forth between live, in fight, after fight, during fight, all that kind of stuff. So I'm tied into the commentary table. And so I was listening to him commentate the whole night, and I was like, these guys are killing it.
Yeah.
I thought they were great.
Very knowledgeable guys for sure. We've actually, I don't even know how this even happened, but we've done commentary for promotions before. I don't even know how they hired us. But anyway, we've done it.
It was the best.
Could you imagine us in your ear, Big Mo? Could you imagine?
In the world.
Yeah.
We didn't say anything inappropriate during our commentating.
No, not at all. Not at all. We're true
good.
professionals. But anyway, so I'm glad that you had a good time over there. They had a good production, the whole deal. We did talk about before we went live the graphic with the clock and everything like that. So did someone fall asleep or what happened here with that graphic?
So let me preface this by saying the graphics package that they had built and the graphics that they have planned for all of their shows is one of the coolest and most innovative ideas I've ever seen, hands down. So I'm excited to see him on the next one. So before the show, about probably an hour and a half before, I was texting one of the marketing people, and I was like, hey, just making sure you have the info on my graphics card right, because obviously I want my correct social media to be on there and my name spelled right. My spelling on my name is a little weird. So I was just making sure everything was cool. And he's like, yeah, we're all set. We're all good to go. What it was explained to me is they had all the graphics loaded on a hard drive, ready to go. And they had actually hired someone that was both a graphic artist and a graphic engineer to do this. The graphics were like a key part of their show. He got in a car accident on the way to the show, ended up going to the hospital. I believe he made it to the hospital, I want to say like 30 minutes before the show started.
Wow.
Maybe like 45. They tried to quickly find like a fill-in guy. I don't know if it was someone from the arena or someone they knew in the local area from another promotion. I have no idea. Apparently he just couldn't get it to work because it wasn't his system. For those of you that are watching this, basically graphics are they're their own separate files that are created in various software suites, and you collect them all into a graphics package, and then you can kind of piece them together on a show.
Sure.
If you don't really know how that works or how they were built or how they were intended to be used, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So that's why the graphics didn't work.
Wow.
Very unfortunate, but it's also unfortunate for the individual that got in a car accident.
Yeah.
Again, I understand that a lot of people were disappointed. I was disappointed, obviously. I want to see graphics. I want to have the show be as perfect as possible. But again, when you leave a promotion like this, and if that's the one negative that someone has, I'll take it, because that's an easy fix. We can get that going on the next show, and it won't be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was trying to explain to people, it's free. Like, seriously, like, we could joke around about it, this and that, but you can't criticize, them, now that we know the story, especially with the guy in the hospital, for God's sake.
Is he okay? Do you know if he's okay?
Did he die?
Stop.
I actually don't know. They didn't seem like it was, like, life-threatening. It didn't sound, like, horrible with it, so I wish that individual a speedy recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they should have called us. I could have drew the graphics with a crayon and sent it over to them. Be like, I got you guys, stick figures and stuff like that with the fighters' heads on it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Last minute.
The first one, XMMA 1, we were blown away by everything. Like, everything. Like, we were like, holy shit. Like, this, it felt like a legit top-tier UFC broadcast. This one here, I got to say, even though it didn't have the graphics, still it came in crystal clear.
Yeah.
The camera angles were great. One guy I think was drunk, but other than that,
there was one cameraman.
There was this guy up there,
and he would like lopside the camera so it looks like you're on a hill. And it was only one. Every time they went to his, I don't know if they even noticed it really, but I think the only reason we noticed it is because we were still and they were probably doing a million other things. But yeah, there was one cameraman that was just slightly lopsided.
Too many drinks.
But other than that, I think they did pretty good.
Look, it's when you look at this, their second show ever. Jesse, you said this during the live stream. I went back and I watched it.
Yeah.
Watch your guys' entire stream. Y'all are awesome, by the way. But I went back and watched it, and Jesse, you said it. This is their second show. The notion that they're going to have everything ironed out that's a ridiculous statement. To think that would happen. And this was their first show with me, for example. I wasn't a part of their first show, so they're incrementally getting better. I think that my aspect of what I did, I was pretty solid with it. I think I made one technical mistake, but whenever you do a show like this, it's about finding whatever you did wrong, ironing it out, and then you just build on it every single time. And the things that I think that maybe can be smoothed over, not big issues.
Yeah.
They're small things. So
100%.
Absolutely.
And it kind of goes back to, and like all joking aside, I said this on the show during Friday night as well, is when it's live, anything can happen. It's not like you have editing, where you're uploading a video later on and you can edit out all the horrible things that happen. Everything's right there in front of you.
They don't have the budget of the UFC and ESPN and all that. I mean, these people, what they're doing with the tools that they have is amazing. It really is.
It's really impressive.
It's crazy.
It's really impressive.
Yeah, so we're talking about XMMA 2 that happened Friday night, friends. Go check it out on a previous video, a couple of videos back over there. We showed the entire thing. Big Mo just stole the show, and once you were called King Mo, we got a good chuckle out of that. Did you hear that in your ear?
Yeah, I heard it. It's okay. That's actually not the first time it's happened. It's just the nature of the industry that coincidentally there's someone else that goes by a 2-syllable nickname that ends with Mo. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. It happens. So, but like I said, little things here and there. The the commission wasn't giving me the scores for the decisions, which I thought was a little bit odd.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there were a couple people that commented on the stream about that. To answer that, I read what I'm given. I'll put it like that. If there's things that I think are glaring discrepancies that I know are correct, then I'll do it myself, to be honest with you. But as a whole with the commissions, I read what I'm told. And because they were unanimous decisions, they just weren't tallying up. They just weren't giving me the final scores on everything, which whatever, a unanimous decision, that's fine. I personally prefer to read the scores because you have a lot of hardcore fans that want to know if it was a 10-8 round or a 10-9 round and stuff like that. So again, that was a commission thing. I'm sure it won't be a problem in the future.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did notice. I think it was Apple was talking about it. I'm pretty sure he was like, "Wait, I don't know why they're not reading off the scores." And then I didn't even notice it until he mentioned that. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's right. That would be nice to know." But it's not a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? Like the clock. That was a problem.
It wasn't that big of a deal.
But we took care of it, Jesse.
You made it a bigger deal than it was.
We got the crayon out. We put the clock out for the people, Jess, right? We did it. We took it. Listen, this is why they got to stick with us. We picked them up. When they fall back, we got them.
And sometimes it works. They didn't have a mic flag, so I had my own. And so I was like, hey, do you guys have a mic flag that you want me to use? And they were like, no. And I was like, I have one, but it has my name on it. And they were like, use it. And I was like, cool. Thanks for the free marketing.
That was great because when we noticed that, we were like, holy shit. Like, did he say, listen, I'm throwing this on my mic. I'm Big Mo. Or so now it makes sense because you always see the promotions logo on the microphone. That's actually kind of cool, man.
That was the one time that I kind of broke as Eric was on commentary. He's like, now we're going to throw it up to the guy with his own mic flag. And I was like, I had to hold back laughter. I was like, motherfucker, come on now.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, it was amazing to watch. It was so much freaking fun. It really was, right? I mean,
I had a lot of fun. I always have fun with XMMA, though. Like, I'm always looking forward to the next one right after it ends.
And all these athletes, they really went all in on their fights. So credit to the athletes that competed. Ben Saunders threw a shout out to his friend that had cancer, and I was like, oh, like as much as we're horsing around, I'm like, that was
an interesting moment.
Yeah, that was like a sad moment over there where Ben Saunders like kind of broke all our hearts. How was it like in the building when he was kind of breaking down at that point?
Well, it's when you have fighters like this, so many people get so wrapped up in the fight and the violence and the energy, and as you should. I hope that you get wrapped up, and I hope you get wild and stuff like that. But they're people too. And everyone has stuff going on, and when the fight's over and you can kind of decompress, he chose to take that moment to give a shout out to his friend that's going through it, and I'm glad, and everyone in the arena felt for him, and it was a cool moment. And Ramsey and Ben were nice people with each other. There was no bad blood. There was really no bad blood with anyone there. I mean, Sweeney and Miley got into it a little bit before, but it was an event that was. The events are designed to have a good time. The events are designed for the fighters to, one, have a good time, get paid, do their career that they love, advance their careers, etc. It's designed to have the fans have a good time. That's why I was so engaged with them all. That's why I'm sure that's a big piece why they wanted me to announce, is because I make the fans a focal point of what I do. That's why I always say I'm always talking to the camera. I'm always saying your main event, things like that. So it's designed to be entertaining. It's designed to be fun. And, I'm glad that Ben took that moment to be real and be honest, because we're all people,
Yeah. Yeah, it was something else. It really was. If we had to ask you one juicy behind-the-scenes story, what would it be? If you had anything off the top of your head, what would be one tidbit of information from behind the scenes that would be cool insight to XMMA?
Let's see. Let me think. Well, I mean... Besides the graphics guy getting in a car accident? I mean, damn, I feel like that's a big one. I really wish I could share what they have planned for the graphics, because it's really, really cool, but I can't. I'd have to think about some juicy details. But again, it's, there was enough, and I've already talked about enough juicy ones, so I'm trying to think of other ones. So come back to me on that one.
Well, I'm going to throw something up here real quick. Speaking of like interesting graphics, I wonder if it's going to be anything like this. So let me see if I can pull this up. It just jumped into my head now. Hold on. Give me a sec. Okay, here we go. Are the graphics going to be Are the graphics going to be like this?
July 30th, live at Bongo's Arena. XMMA present the night bone-crushing mixed martial arts fights.
It's so interesting when that video came out because I was so confused by it. And the thing is, like, but I think that was kind of the point.
Yes.
I think it was kind of like a shock value thing. Like, the vibe that I got from that was, I don't know who, if you were big into like hip hop entertainment back in the day, but they had Triumph, the puppet dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that thing. Yes.
Stuff like that. Like, that gave me that kind of vibe. So, like, I mean, it was just so, and it gave me like Team America vibes. Like, it was just so over the top. But I was like, maybe this could kind of work. I don't know.
Yeah.
So unique bit of comedy.
It's funny you mentioned that
great.
because we were told it was a comedic skit, like, to kind of promote it. So yeah, I mean, as long as people are getting that kind of vibe off of it, I guess it works, right?
Yeah, I thought it was hysterical. Triumph is amazing. And the Team America, one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, complete childish, crazy stuff.
How did I know that you were going to like Team America?
I made you.
I don't know.
How could you tell?
America. Jesse, you sat through. I made Jesse sat through that a couple months ago.
I hated it.
And she was like, "You didn't like Durka?"
I felt like I was losing brain cells every second that I was watching that movie. It was the worst.
You know, but again, it's about being different.
Yeah.
Is everything going to hit? Probably not. You know, but
that one made me want to punch myself in the face. Like, that was pretty bad.
Well, listen.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it's different. Different strokes for different folks, type of thing.
Yeah.
Not everyone's gonna hit. I'd be willing to bet they don't run a promo like that again. But at the same time, I don't think that maybe they want to go the standard route of, boom boom action. Then you have one guy that does voiceover. July 30th, like. I think that they want to go a little bit of a different route. I think they want to do some promos with me, which would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to do some stuff like that. So it's about being original. It's about being different. What's cool, though, what I like is XMMA is being critiqued as if this isn't their second show.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. That's a great thing. That means that they're held to a higher standard than a lot of other promotions out there, which is a good thing. Once you raise the bar, that's kind of the standard that you have to set now. Mm-hmm. So now you just got to keep getting better and better.
Yeah, it's got to be a fun challenge for them. But I got to say, the tail of the tape.
I don't want to like come across as rude. But I have my kid just woke up, so I have to go.
Stirring.
I'm not
You're
leaving. I'm not like uninterested. I promise.
Don't worry. Well, you're fired. So it would be hilarious if the tail of the tape, though, was this. This would be hysterical, though. Like if Ben Saunders versus Nijam and that just pops up. I would love that. That would be so great, man.
It's just Eric and Frank Mir at the desk with action figures. Like, let's go to the live replay.
That would be amazing. That would be so great. One's in the chat if that's what you want in XMMA number 3. I mean, I think that would be that. Would they be I'm curious. We got to get them on. We speak to them behind the scenes, but we should drag them on too because I got so many questions. Like I'm curious if they were into like novelty type fights. Like Bare Knuckle, I've noticed has been doing this as well, where it goes off the deep end with some weird social media versus social media thing. I'm curious, or they want to be completely serious.
I think they want to be serious, and I think that's why they put together the fights that they did. Mm-hmm. Like, they got some big names, I mean, stuff like that. And so I think that from the sport aspect, they want to be serious, but I do think they want to be creative from the marketing aspect.
Yeah, so is that line that they just want to navigate, Yeah, it's interesting. It really is interesting what they're doing.
Like, they thought it was hilarious, all the comparisons that were coming out of me on Twitter. I mean, it was Johnny Bravo, Duke Nukem, Max Headroom, thanks for that one. No one knew who that was, and it's only the MMA-Holes that are calling me that. So sick, dude. Thanks.
It's funny. My mom called me up, and she's like, "That guy was great on the show." My mom watches the show. Hi, Mom. How you doing? She calls me up. She's like, "That guy was great on the show," but she's like, "I don't understand why you put Max Headroom on the thumbnail." I'm like, "No. That wasn't Max Headroom. That was his avatar picture. It was a cartoon." It's not Max Head, but this is just
sick.
Sick. But I tell you what, if you're gonna be like anyone, Max Headroom is the GOAT of the '80s. For God's sakes, the guy was great.
Out of all the comparisons, that I would probably take like the Duke Nukem or Johnny Cage, or people were just picking white dudes that wear sunglasses. Like, it wasn't even like, it didn't even make sense half the time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's got to be an incredible. I mean, you must have been loving going through social media, scrolling through all the crazy comments. It must have been a blast to do.
I mean, look, I try not to read them because there's always going to be negative people that want to say them. But as a whole, the comments are really positive. And I'm glad that people were entertained by it. Again, it's always the damn sunglasses. Like, that's the number one thing that people have to say. Like, did you like how I announced? Did I announce well? Did I do my job well? Or is it the fact that I wore one accessory that just like, I mean, some people, made it seem like I took food out of their kids' mouths. Like, I'm wearing sunglasses, man. Like, it's Bruce Buffer wears fancy over-the-top jackets. Like, I don't know what to tell you, so whatever. Not everyone's going to like it. I'm going to keep doing it. I think I'm doing a good job, so that's all that matters.
I think so, too. When I first saw your stuff, I didn't even notice. Like, I saw you wearing sunglasses, but I didn't put two and two together. I was just like, this guy's got that rock star look to him. I didn't even think, hey, this guy's got sunglasses on. It didn't even jump in my head until I saw everyone else on, social media talking about it. And I was like, oh, shit.
Good.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, listen, you're doing something right. I don't know. But,
yeah.
I want to talk to you about, there's a bunch of stuff going on here. And first of all, are you vaccinated?
Yes.
You are vaccinated. Okay. So I'm sure, unless you live under a rock, there's people not vaxxed. There's this whole crazy debate going on right now. People are going nuts, lighting shit on fire, like just going crazy. My mindset is, listen, I'm vaccinated too, but I don't give a fuck what you do in your life, your body, your choice. Knock yourself out. That's how I think. But regardless of the fact, I want to travel, I want to do these things, I'm just going to vax up and see what happens, right? The UFC is having a situation right now. Michael Chandler went out there and said that he doesn't know if he could fight at Madison Square Garden in an upcoming event because New York's got this crazy lockdown that's coming around again. Not just a lockdown. It's you need to show proof of a vaccination in order to get into buildings and events and this and that. And they're afraid that's going to work. Like, you need to be vaccinated in order to fight on this card. Now, Dana White's completely squashed this and says, hey, listen, if that's the case, we're not fighting in New York. But what are your thoughts on this whole situation with the vaccinations fighters? Do you think they should be vaccinated? What do you think?
I want to say no comment because it's not my place to talk about what someone else wants to do with their body. I think that no comment ultimately is what I gotta have to say. Look, what it comes down to, regardless of if you disagree with what New York is doing or whether you agree with them, they're the people that were put in power, and their job is to look out for their citizens. Whether or not you think they're doing a good job or whether you disagree with this legislation or that legislation, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, they're putting a rule in place that they believe is for the good of their people. That's fine. And so, whether or not they disagree with it, whether or not the UFC likes it, it's not going to change the ruling. The UFC is going to have to adjust depending on where they stand on the issue. Michael Chandler will have to stand whether or not where his stance is on the issue. So,
yeah, I like what the UFC is doing here, where they're like, listen, they're just going to they're not going to force their fighters to do anything. They do what they want with their bodies. Here's the thing. I'm pro-vaccination, but I'm not gonna be pulling people's cigarettes out of their mouth and say, no, bad, don't do that. Like, I don't give a shit what anyone does. Like, anyone can do whatever they want. But if the UFC doesn't want to take their business over there because they don't want their fighters getting vaxxed or doing whatever, being forced to do certain things, I kind of respect that the UFC is like, okay, we're just going to keep the party in Vegas or wherever they'll let us do this. So what do you think that they will have this event in New York, or do you think they're going to wind up doing it in Vegas?
Well, one thing that I can say about Dana White, and people have different opinions of Dana, people like Dana, people love Dana. One thing that you cannot deny about that man is he figures it out.
Yep.
Regardless of what's going on in the world, he figures out a way to put on a show in some way, shape, or form. I watched that man in the peak of COVID acquire an island, build a venue, and host it on an empty island during COVID.
Crazy.
So I know that he's going to figure it out. Whether or not they have it in New York, I have no idea. I don't know the nuts and also too, the other reason why I'm not commenting is I don't know the nuts and bolts of that legislation. I know they called it like the key to the city act or anything. I haven't gone through and read it. I don't know what the stipulations are. I don't know if it's based on contact tracing. I don't know if it's based on where you got your vaccine, what vaccine, whether you got Moderna or Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer. I don't know. So I kind of I'm going to see this play out just like everybody else is. I'm sure the UFC is on top of it, obviously, because the Madison Square Garden shows are huge. They do well all the time.
Yeah.
It's the most famous arena in history. It's my arena that I want to announce in most in my career. So I want to see it happen. It's historic. And again, props to Dana White and the UFC. Whether it's in New York or not, I'd be willing to bet they figure out a way to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they do get it done over there. I mean, being from New York, I've been to the Garden a gazillion times. I'm a big Ranger fan. My parents had season tickets to New York Rangers, and we went.
That's how I know you're really from New York.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've learned this about people. Like when you meet someone, and they say they're from New York, and they're like, "I'm a big Yankees fan." I'm like, "Eh." When they're like, "Nah, I'm a Mets fan," or "I'm a Rangers fan,"
I'm a Mets fan, baby.
Jeez, yeah, you're from there.
That's right. I'll sink with that ship. It's crazy, but this year not too bad. But yeah, we're hardcore. We're hardcore. Like you're either a Yankee fan, you're a Met fan, you're a Ranger fan, you're an Islander fan. Like it's you're not both. And if you are both, get the hell out of the state. Like that's what people say. But anyway, I left anyway. So what do I can't really talk. But Madison Square Garden, it has this buzz. It really does. There's something about it. And I couldn't imagine being on that stage. Could you imagine Big Mo announcing the world's most famous arena? You right there under the lights. That'd be something special, huh?
You're gonna make me tear up, man. I told you last time I'm big into affirmation and visualization, man. I've already been there. I've already announced there. That's the dream spot for me. You know, you can make the case that's the most famous arena in the world that still does live events, you know? So obviously that's the dream. The history behind there, I mean, and to be honest with you, I'm so confident I could do it in the next 5 minutes if you put me in there. So
yeah. So after this event, do you take anything away from XMMA 2? Like you've done all these other events, but this one here, do you feel you've taken it to the next level? Do you feel that you are now in the zone? Is there any difference between now and before XMMA 2?
Well, I like to improve with every show. And this might be the former athlete side of me, but I watch film. Like as soon as that was over, they haven't put up the official full show yet. XMA said they're going to get that done in a couple days. So I rewatched your guys' stream of it, and I'm sitting there taking notes, seeing where I can, where I did things right, where I did things wrong, trying to reemphasize different words. Like I'm psychotic with this stuff. I said that last time. Like, so I always, when I do a show, I feel like I'm always a better iteration of myself. So when I watched that show, I thought I sounded good. I thought that I hit, the words that I wanted to hit that were heavier. I had to space out how I want to, because promotions and productions have different styles in terms of how they want to introduce shows and how they want to break up shows. So I was able to have, the quote that I do to start the show, the "Can you hear me?" I was able to have the "Are you ready?" piece for the main card to start the main card. Then I was able to have the "Get Wild" piece for the main event. So, looking back, I thought I'd grade myself probably like an A-. I thought I did well, but I always have places to improve. And the thing is I don't want to do as well as I did on this last show when I do their next show. And a little tidbit of information there. I think I'm going to do the next XMA show, which is exciting.
Very nice.
They thought I did a good enough job. So, but yeah, no, I'm always just looking to improve. That's really about it.
Are you hard on yourself when you watch yourself back? Do you like, oh, damn, what
immensely.
Yeah.
I am my biggest critic. I mean, I'll put it like this. The sunglasses are a perfect example. I think about it every single day if I should take them off or not. If it's stupid, if I like it, if I don't like it. I'm always hard on myself. I'm always looking at things that I can do better on. But, then you meet people like Frank Mir who pulled me aside and he's like, "Hey, I love the sunglasses. I love that you're being different," right? So that's a hell of a compliment from someone like him. But in terms of the raw performance that I do, I'm always hard on myself. I go back and I look at it, I'm like, damn, I know I got one guy's record wrong. Granted, the information I was given was incorrect, but at the same time, like, it still falls on me regardless. Like, I'm always looking at ways to get better. I'm my biggest critic always.
It's funny. I always tell people when anyone asks us for advice with just doing a show or creating something, I always tell people to watch their shit back. It's so hard for me to watch myself. It drives me nuts. But at the same time, if I didn't watch and see the mistakes, I wouldn't correct them, or I wouldn't try to do things to make it better. It's very important to see what you're doing wrong and correcting those things. So I think that's actually pretty cool that you go back and watch it. A lot of actors don't go back and watch their movies because they don't want to see themselves. But how do you get any better?
What's cool is I have a friend group that, we're very real with each other, and they watch the fight. And if I showed you my text messages, I could show you and say, hey, how do I sound? Mm-hmm. I just texted them. And they would say, good, bad, you're saying this wrong. And it's a no bullshit kind of thing. And I have that approach with everything. Like during the show, like I went to the XMMA guy or one of the team members. I was like, hey, does everything sound okay? And he was like, yeah, it sounds great. And I go, no, like, don't bullshit me. Like, do I need to fix something? Like, tell me. Like, I'm not going to take it personal. Like, I'm trying to be the best version of myself. I want to do the best job possible. Like, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me, you know?
That's a good move. Yes, that's great advice. If anything you're to take from this interview, ladies and gentlemen from the chat, just be hard on yourself. Make sure that you're doing it right. It's okay to fail and fall apart in certain situations. It's okay to be criticized. I think a lot of people are, criticism is sometimes more important than positive comments. So
look, I think we're in a society now where I think a lot of people are soft. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, they can't handle criticism. They can't handle something not going right. Not everything's going to go right. Not everything's going to be perfect. Like I look back at the tapes that when I just started announcing, and I sounded horrible compared to where I'm at right now. But that's growth. That's evolution. Like if you're working on something, whether you're a musician, whether you host a show, by the way, I'm sorry for calling you a podcast last time. You are a show. You ain't no damn podcast, right?
That's right.
Whether you're an announcer, whether you're a fighter, like if someone tells you something that you can improve on, run with it. Own it. Like, don't take it as like, oh, this guy's talking shit to me. No, I think you could do this better. Take it, absorb it, think about what they said, apply it, see if it works, and move on. And then you'll find that odds are your product will be better by doing that.
100%. And you're only 26 years old? 25? 25 years old, and you already got this down pat. You already understand all this stuff. Could you imagine in 10 years what you're going to be? This is crazy. Let me ask, do you have a side job? Do you have another job besides this, or is this something?
No, this is technically my side. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. I help operate a business. I'm not really going to get into that now, but I try to keep the life separate with entertainment. But
Porn?
I'm not saying this to pat my own self on the back, but I'm a hustler. I'm a grinder. I work about 110 hours a week. I dedicate time to where I can in the announcing side of things. I'm constantly working. I'm constantly networking. I bother people with it because I'm always on the phone. I'm always trying to find opportunities. I'm always trying to connect with people. Mm-hmm. So I mean that's what you got to do if you want to be good. If you want it or great. And I said this, and I've said this in other places, but I want to be the best announcer.
Yeah,
you can put that down for me. A lot of people say like, I just want to be myself and I just want to enjoy it. Like, no, I want to be at the top. And the only way that I'm going to do that is by outworking people that are competing for the same very few amount of opportunities. I'm in an incredibly niche industry when it comes to ring announcing, and there's very few announcers that do it professionally. I have to outwork them.
Yeah.
I have to make up for the fact that I don't have 20 years of experience, 25 years of experience. I only have a couple, but did I maximize that? Am I better in those years of experience that I'm lacking? That's what I'm focusing on.
Mm-hmm. We're live with Big Mo from XMMA 2. He's dropping some knowledge on the show. Dat1GRR, one of our members in the chat, wants to know OnlyFans. Do you have OnlyFans? Is that what's going on here? Side job?
He can't afford it anyway. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. No OnlyFans for me.
Okay. We had to get that out of the way. There's an event this weekend, UFC, with Derrick Lewis in Houston, going to fight for an interim strap against Ciryl Gane. Are you following any of that stuff that's going on?
Yeah, I think It's strange that they're doing that so quickly, especially when they have an incredible both fighter and marketing opportunity with Francis. I'm very surprised that they're already trying to shuffle him and trying to get an interim belt in there. It doesn't make any sense. There's been a lot of champions that have not defended as quickly that didn't have to do that or they didn't have to go the route of an interim title. So I find it a little bit strange, but again, as a general rule, I do think the UFC does a good job. I do trust their decision making for the most part. So I'm curious where they're going to go with this. It's going to be an exciting fight. I think Ciryl Gane is a badass. He's a freak of nature, but at the same time, Derrick Lewis slips a punch in there, you go to sleep. So I'm curious what's going to happen with it. I don't really know.
Yeah, anytime Derrick Lewis fights, you always think that he's outmatched when it comes to skills, and then all of a sudden lights out. It's just he's not. That Volkov fight is one that really stands out to me, where Volkov was beaten.
The first one I saw.
Yeah, beating the living snot out of the guy, and Volkov was cruising to a victory. We did a fight buddies with, and my father was in the background. He's just celebrating that Volkov's going to win this thing, and sure enough, walk off Derrick Lewis just knocks his lights out. It's crazy, the guy.
Yep. I got to get rolling soon here, but I don't know if we want to open it up to the chat at all. I hate to be the guy that has to roll early, but I do have other obligations. So
you know what? I just looked at the time. It fucking went way quicker than I thought.
Yeah,
let's chat room. Got any questions for Big Mo? Let's roll them out real quickly, and then we'll wind this thing down. Big Mo was the announcer of XMMA 2 Friday night, and it was wonderful. Let me know in the chat if you got anything from my man Big Mo. How tall? 6'7", correct?
Yes, sir. 6'7".
Yeah, towering over everyone over there.
Yeah, I got that a lot too.
All right, let's see what else. Why did the MMA-Holes graphics make those heavyweights look like Sasquatch? I don't know what that means. Let's see.
Don't really get that one.
Do you train MMA? You spoke about this a little bit.
First sport I ever did was martial arts. Did that before I got into basketball and football. I do a little bit of sparring and striking just for cardio, but I don't really have the time to fully commit to actual training on a consistent basis. So I work out where I can to stay in shape. So
Joe B wants to know any other promotions you're interested in working in?
All of them.
All of them?
I want as much work as I can get. Obviously, the top-notch promotions would be a goal for me, but I'm just looking to be the best version of an announcer I can be, regardless of who it's for.
The Glove Touch in the chat wants to know possible location for next event. You know there's another one coming up, but where would it be?
I believe the next event is going to be in October, and nothing is confirmed yet, but it sounds like
Arizona?
Florida.
Florida. Oh. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, Florida. Listen. Oh, that Kendall, you can go to that event. That'd be wonderful. I think the Glove Touch could make it to that as well. All right, let's get a couple more, and then we'll let him go here.
Yeah.
I could see you in the UFC one day, says Carl Grace.
Thank you.
Let's see. Big Mo, who do you think is the biggest school threat in MMA? What does that even mean?
The biggest school threat?
At the schoolyard? I don't know.
Like a threat to a school? I hope none of them.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Big Mo, who is your favorite UFC fighter, bruh?
Ooh, that's a great question. I grew up a massive Lyoto Machida fan. I became, and I know I'm going to get flack for this one, but I became a Conor fan. I like what he did, and he's kind of doing some weird stuff now, but it is what it is. Let's see, man. I mean, I love watching Amanda Nunes fight. She's always exciting. Curtis Blades, I'm a big fan of. He trains out in Denver, and I like watching him fight. I hope he can get back on track to getting a title. Big Stipe Miocic fan. I hope he gets the rematch with Ngannou. I think it's kind of weird that he's not getting that. But big Stipe fans. I'm a fan of a lot of them, to be honest with you. Do I like every fighter? No. Do I like the majority of them? Yes.
Someone in the chat says, can you announce my lesbian wedding? Would you ever do a wedding? Have you ever done like wedding announcing, like with DJing or anything like that?
No, but I mean, I would be open to doing things where, like, if you wanted me to give you like a main event intro for a wedding, I'd be more than happy to do that. I'd be honored to be a part of the day for you for that. So
there you go. Hey, that would be fun. Me and Jesse, we got married our neighbors came over and just signed some papers. We had some weird-ass marriage, but we're looking to do a ceremony. Maybe we'll fly Big Mo over, and we'll have an epic ceremony with you.
Let's do it, dude.
Yes.
I'm down.
Yeah, I gotta wear stilts though. I gotta.
Although I like getting a little lit at weddings, so I gotta keep it together so I don't get too tossed for the intro. That could be a nightmare.
Are you the life of the party when you go out and toss a couple of drinks back?
I like to think so. I don't drink as much as I did back when I was in college. But yeah, I love to party and have a good time. I'll put it like that.
Well, Big Mo, it was a pleasure having you on. Looking forward to seeing what you do in the future. And now is the time to shout out whoever you'd like to shout out on the interwebs.
Yeah. Shout out to XMMA for giving me an opportunity to do what I do. Shout out to them wanting me to do it again and again and again and again. Thank you for everyone that watched. Thank you to those that showed me love over social media. Thank you to those that maybe didn't. That's fine. I read it all. I hope I can keep working to make you guys a fan one day. But I appreciate everyone that's supported me and thinks that I can, do great things because I plan on doing them. And again, I'm thankful to the community. I'm thankful to everyone that's helped me kind of grow, that's helped me find opportunities, that's become a fan of what I do. Thank you to Chris, Jesse for having me on the show. You guys are awesome. I definitely want to come back. I would love to be a show regular for you guys where I can. But again, very appreciative of everyone. Very appreciative of everyone that watched the show. Make sure you turn to the next XMMA show. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at official.bigmo. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at bigmo_official. I'm going to be sharing a ton of content, ton of stuff. But yeah, guys, we keep rolling. Let's keep getting wild. I want to get wild with as many of you fans as possible. So DM me, message me if you guys got anything to say, or if you guys think that I can do something different or do something announce differently. Or I read them all. I'm curious. I love interacting and engaging with the fans. So,
well, Big Mo, thank you for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Hey, Chris, I appreciate it. Jesse, thank you so much. We'll be in touch soon, and thank you to the MMA-Holes for all the questions. And I have a feeling I'll be back on here soon. All
right, Big Mo, be good, and we'll talk to you in the near future. All right, there he is, Big Mo, jumping on the MMA-Holes live stream. What do you think, friends? XMMA MMA 2 announcer, and then we find out tonight that it looks like he is going to be the voice for the inevitable future of XMMA. So that is absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. Let me know in the chat what you think. Lewis versus Gane is this Saturday night. We will be reacting to the entire card, and if you want to watch that card, pinned in the live chat and in the description down below, ESPN Plus. If you're going to be paying for that pay-per-view, use our link. It helps us out, and it's wonderful. I want to give a shout-out to Head Rush over here. Head Rush, who's working with XMMA, with the MMA-Holes, an exclusive offer for our friends in the chat, 20% off if you use the promo code MMA-HOLES. So if you want this swagalicious gear from Head Rush, and you want to get the discount, premium clothing, well, use that promo code and use our link in the description and get all your discounts. We also have ballsyballwash.com. If you like to wash your body and smell delish, well, use ballwash.com. I got to order some more. I just ran through 2 bottles of this stuff, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Actually lasts longer than you would think. It smells delish. The ladies love it. 15% off. Promo code MMA-HOLES. MysticRootsCBD.com is the website. MysticRootsCBD.com. If you'd like 20% off the best CBD in the fucking world. MysticRootsCBD.com. Use promo code MMA-HOLES. And like we said before, ESPN Plus is where the UFC fights are at. Use that link in the live chat. And remember, order it early because we had an issue the last pay-per-view event. We actually made the mistake. We were ordering early every freaking event. The last one, we thought we ordered and we forgot. And we're like, oh shit, we ran it back the day of. And we couldn't get it until we were sweating. So I would urge you, if you're gonna order the event, do it early. This way you don't have any problems and it'll stream pretty good for you. So ESPN Plus is the link in the description and in the live chat. Okay. If you missed Big Mo, run it back after the show. He was on. He was discussing XMMA 2, discussing the vaccine situation. I know this is a touchy subject, this whole vax situation. Everywhere I look, vax. No, yes, no. I hate you. But Michael Chandler went out there and said, I don't even know if I could fight in Madison Square Garden because of the mandatory showing of the card. And Dana White shortly follows up and says, hey, listen, if the New York laws are like that and fighters need to show a card to compete, well, they're just not going to have their event in New York. So that's Dana White's stance on the situation. I know people are very one-sided with their opinions on this. Listen, I have a side, you have a side, but I think at the end of the day, we all should pretty much agree that it's your body, you make the choice, right? That's how it should be over there. So credit to Dana White for sticking to his guns. I don't know if he's vaxxed or unvaxxed. I'm going to assume he's not vaxxed. But regardless of the fact, he had Amanda Nunes fall off the card that's happening this Saturday, not giving her shit for being vaccinated, not vaccinated. It is what it is. You move on. He'll pick the party up and move it to Vegas. I'm hoping it's in New York. I really do. I would like to see it under the MSG lights, but we'll see what happens. Let me get your thoughts in the chat. What do you think, friends? If you'd like to hit the dono, smash it up. There's a link in the chat and the description if you'd like to support the show. Also, hit the like button. Stop being so fucking stingy. Hit that like button. Let's get to 200. I traveled to Mexico, Central America, South America. I need that vaccine. I love Dana White. He's a real Republican. Your body, a government's choice. You have a right to be hooked up to a ventilator. If Cain Velasquez ever comes back to the UFC, he smashes Francis. I need Vizzy. Oh, how about this? Yeah, you know what? I would have liked to getting more into that with Big Mo, because he did say that Francis was kind of done dirty in that situation. But think about it. If the UFC didn't make this for an interim belt this Saturday, with Amanda Nunes falling off, there would have been no title fight. In fact, there might be no card this Saturday. So the UFC used their crystal ball, and boom, they got it right. There's an interim strap this weekend. Now we have a card. So it's kind of wild. The poor baby is having a thing. I hope she feels a little bit better. She's a little on edge. Everyone say, feel better, Ellie. I agree with you, Moss. Thank you, Wildberry. Roberto Hernandez, tell me again how you aren't in the cartel. I don't know, man. But I don't care. I don't care, because my man knows how to fucking tickle that dono, so he could be fucking slicing throats and pulling tongues out, and that's fine with me. Francis is in dope. Kai Kara gonna roly poly Cody. I was 83, drunk savage. I'm simple carpenter from Los Angeles. After I took my vaccine, my pecker grew 3 inches. Well, that's an incentive. Feel better. That's right. Feel better, babysitter. And Kendall, Florida, the next MMA event looks like it's going to be in your state. So that's absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. I can only thumbs up if it's a 3. Sounds like Mexican Jesus.
Wonderful.
Welcome to the trap house. You need those 3 inches. Okay, let's look at the card this weekend. Let's check it out. We got a bunch of stories to get to. And by the way, Dana White does have interest in AJ McKee. He says, when his contract is up, give me a call. So to the freaking knuckleheads out there, says Dana White doesn't give a shit about AJ McKee. You can suck a dick. A big dick. A big veiny cock. Big veiny uncircumcised cock. Young Money Brick Squad, Chad Mendez. Oh yeah, by the way, Chad Mendez. Yeah, he's going on Rogan, but I did see that he did sign with Bare Knuckle FC. I like it. I do like Money. Looks pretty good. Training and Money can play with the sauce over there, because I don't know how the testing goes in Bare Knuckle, so he can get all roided up again and eat all his deer meat. Anyway, yeah, so AJ McKee, it looks like Dana White does have interest in AJ. How could you not? The guy's a freaking phenom. Looking at this card, the UFC card this weekend. Let's take a little peek at it, a little peekstickle at it. UFC. Okay, .com. Here we go. I am looking forward to this event. Listen, I love the Black Beast, man. The Black Beast he's always fun. Even when he's huffing and puffing and all gassed out, and then gets like that walk-off knockout. So much fun to watch. One of these men will be an interim champ. Is it fair? No. No, it's not. It is not fair. But you know what? It doesn't matter because they did it for the people. The co-main event, Jose Aldo versus Munoz. Michael Chiesa versus Luke is a fascinating fight at welterweight. The top three, pretty damn wonderful.
Wonderful.
Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill. Like, I wanted this to go on the prelims, but you know what? When I was looking through the old Tapology, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should give this a chance. Tisha did look fucking lights out in the last fight, so I guess I get it, you know. And Angela Hill, you know, she's tough as nails, so I guess she could keep it there. Just, you know, whatever. Tisha's on a 2-fight win streak, and that knockout, she looked all beefed up, and she was making a statement in that fight. Angela Hill coming back over Ashley Yoder, but let's be honest, Ashley Yoder, is she really that good? She had the 2 fights, losses, Michelle Waterson, Claudia Gadelia. She claimed that she might have won both of those fights, but I don't know. This fight was supposed to happen. It's going to go down, and whatever. Not terrible, not great. It is what it is, but the top 3 are good. Yadong Song, Casey Kenny. That's a freaking good fight there. Casey Kenny was in hot water because of what he said about Megan Anderson. You know, people trying to cancel my man Kenny, and Kenny put out an apology, and people still want to cancel him. Soft motherfucker. It should be a new thing on the show. Anytime someone's soft.
Soft motherfucker.
That's right. Anyway, Casey Kenny's back. So 16-3-1 versus 16-5-1. Song Yadong. Wonderful. Let's talk about the Black Beast. Let's talk about the main event here. Derrick Lewis versus Ciryl Gane. It's time we put a poll in the chat. It's time we poll my chat right now. It's time we drop it in there and we find out who the people are going to pick in the main event. So I'm going to drop it in immediately here. I'm going to say who wins. Who wins? Okay. We're going to do Mr. Lewis. And then we're going to put Gane. I just want to call him Gane. Now, I'm pretty sure the people out there are just going to say Gane. You know, like the guy, when it comes to his skills, and he is a big guy. He's pretty fast for his size. A very good striker. He's probably going to be problematic for Lewis. But I'm not picking against Derrick ever again. I picked against Derrick one time, and it was Curtis Blades. I said I'd never do it again. I always pick the Black Beast in every single fight. The fight with DC, I didn't put any pick in because I liked both guys, so I didn't put any pick in. But the one that I did pick against him, I kicked myself in the ass for. But we're going to keep this poll up. In fact, let me see if I'll put the poll in the background. Let's add it. Window capture, poll cam, the old poll cam. Oh, shit, hold on a second. Remove. Where's my poll? Where's my poll? Where I stick my poll? Poster, phone. Okay, here we go. Add. Window capture. Poll cam. Okay. And now let's put this in here. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get it out. Let's get it thumping. Let's get that poll. Let's get it going here. I'm pretty pumped. So October is the next XMMA event. That's awesome. So XMMA is not playing, man. XMMA is playing no games. They're just going to roll right. I'm actually pretty pumped up about that. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to keep this. Actually, where should I put the poll? I'll hang it over here until Jesse gets back. Yeah, the poor baby can't fall asleep. It's a bummer. Okay. So get your votes in, friends. I would like to know who you think is going to get the win. Right now, 34 votes. And, wow, 71%, oh, now 69% are saying Derrick Lewis. So it's a pretty big majority over here. Going with Lewis over Gane. Wow. Wow. That's actually kind of surprising. Listen, I'm picking Derrick, too. I'm picking Derrick as well, but little surprise. 85 likes, completely unacceptable with 140 people watching. Everyone smash the like button immediately because we got live polls going on here, for God's sakes. You know, we're bringing you the content. So the least you could do is fucking hit a like button, you lazy fucks. You look real concerned. About what? The poll? What are you trying to say? I don't know. Concerned about what? Explain yourself. With your cryptic message. Oh, here's the baby. Oh, look at Cutie's coming in. Cutie's coming in. Let's see. I'm rooting for Lewis, but Gane is a complete better fighter. You would think. Here's the thing. How many? Oh, Ellie's here. Hey, baby. Hi. Look at that face. He's smiling. That face makes you melt. You got your little bow. You want to say hi to the people?
She wants to say hi to you.
Oh, hey, baby. You're so cute. This kid's so cute. I'm cut the show short. Get the hell out of here. Hang out with the baby.
She wants to play with Daddy.
You want to play? Who do you think's going to win? I can't wait until she gets the age where I could ask her who's going to win. Who do you think's going to win? Gane or Lewis? Who do you think? Who do you think's going to win? Gane or Lewis? What do you think? She's got something for her acid reflux, so she's back in the zone. Sweet baby. Okay. Hope Ellie's doc appointment went well. I would say it did, right?
Yeah, she's on medication now.
All right, so we got the poll of the chat. I'm going to take it out soon. It looks like the people with 45 votes, you guys are sleeping out. Where? 45, 150 people watching, only 45 people like, I think I'll put a vote. What is wrong with you guys? You can't hit a like, can't hit the poll. Jess, what do you think's going on with these people?
I don't know, Moss. I don't know.
Are they sleeping out there? What's going on? We put them to sleep?
They're sleeping.
All right, I'm going to stop the poll in a second. As it stands, it looks like people are going to be picking Derrick Lewis for the win. Who are you picking in this fight?
Lewis.
Ooh.
Yeah. I like picking Lewis also.
Okay. I can't see the poll. Open your eyes. All right, that's done. And it looks like officially 69%. 69%. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So 69% of the people are picking Derrick Lewis over Ciryl Gane. I'm assuming they're picking a knockout. I don't know. Do you think Derrick could win by a decision, a 5-round decision against Gane?
I don't see him going the distance. I think that this is going to be some kind of finish for sure.
All right, let's rattle some news stories since we got you in the building over here. Let's see what we got on the MMA-Holes.com.
Jose Aldo voices his support for Conor McGregor to return from his leg break, saying, "I never doubt the champions." According to MMA Fighting, McGregor's biggest UFC rival hopes that he has a full recovery from his gruesome injury and manages to get back to the cage to resume his MMA career. He's talking about when McGregor fractured his ankle in the final seconds of his Dustin Poirier bout. Aldo said, "First of all, I'm upset with the injury. It's quite hard. We work with our body. We try to keep it healthy because that's the way we can always be working. I think he can get back to fighting at a high level. I never doubt the champions, the mind and willpower of the champions. He has dominated before and was the lightweight and featherweight champion. It's all up to him. If he wants to come back at a high level, he can do it."
Okay. Look at Jose Aldo playing nice. By the way, I don't know if you listened to or watched the podcast Mike Tyson's Hot Boxing. Did you with Khabib?
No, I want to see it though.
It's very good.
Yeah, I heard Khabib was on there. Who told me that? Someone in the chat told me that.
Yeah, I'm not listen, Henry Cejudo, I guess Mike Tyson's like, yeah, I don't want to ask any questions. Like Mike Tyson's just kind of, he's like a statue. He just sits there and laughs and says something ridiculous and then they move on. But I just love that Mike Tyson's there. And I feel like we can have a little bit better of a co-host than fucking Henry Cejudo, but it is what it is. Khabib, though, he is such a likable guy. He really is. Like as much as we talk smack and we horse around here on the show, Khabib just comes across as a super nice guy. They kept on drilling the Conor shit on him, and he handled it very well. You know, he could have been a real ass about it. He handled it very politely. And, you know, eventually I was waiting for Khabib to say, "Why you keep asking me Conor questions? Like, I'm here." Like, why? Like, everywhere he goes, people like TMZ's finding him in the street, podcasts, you know, everyone's interviewing Khabib and asking about Conor. I get it,
just
but
an easy question for an interviewer to ask.
Why keep following up, though, with more Conor questions? I feel like it's,
It's not like they watch all the Khabib interviews out there.
I don't know. It's weird. You could ask the question, he answers, you move on. They're just trying to pull more weird shit out of him, but he didn't break, and he's talking about his pop, which was cool, has no interest in fighting again. And you know, it was a good look on Khabib. You know, you miss him. You miss him in the cage, in the octagon, you know. You wonder what would have been next. He did say if his father was still alive that he would be fighting GSP in some way or shape or form. There would be something going on that his father would make that fight happen. That would have been his last hurrah. So that's interesting. Anyway, good on Jose Aldo, I guess. I don't fucking know. Who cares? Next, all right, this is an interesting story.
Luke Rockhold reveals an offer to face, quote, fucking idiot, Sean Strickland. UFC 268 fight in the works, according to MMA Fighting.
Okay, so Luke Rockhold said something. Did you see what Sean Strickland came out with?
I did not know.
Well, we put it on our stories over here. So hold on, check this out. This is great. Actually, you know what? I'll just pull up Sean Strickland's thing. How do you not like Sean Strickland? If you don't like, Sean O'Malley, Jesus Christ. I go from a likable guy to a dis. Okay, here we go. Now, initial thoughts. I know a lot of people will probably pick Strickland over Luke Rockhold, but I gotta say, I think I pick Luke Rockhold. Just because I don't know if Sean Strickland can knock out Rockhold. I understand he's got a glass jaw and this and that, and anything's possible. I hope Strickland beats him. I hope Strickland beats the living shit out of him. But I feel like if there's any form of vintage Rockhold, and the dude is in fantastic shape, this is going to be a really tough fight for Sean Strickland. I'm rooting for him. Don't think I'm picking, Rockhold because I'm rooting for the guy or whatever. It's just, all right, well, let's listen.
I'm enjoying my week off, and a bunch of people have been messaging me that Luke Rockhold's gonna run his mouth, call me a fucking idiot, a nobody, and and all these things they might be true, but I'll tell you one thing, man. Me and you might never fight. I don't care about fighting in the cage for ego reasons. I like to get paid. It's something I enjoy, but I'll tell you fucking one thing. You just can't live in a radius of me and run your fucking mouth and not expect for me to hit you in the face. We don't need to fight, that's fine. But I'm going to run into you at Ruka. I'm going to see you in the parking lot. I'm going to walk up to you and smack you in the fucking face. And you seem like the kind of pussy that runs his fucking mouth and gets hit and then calls the cops. But you're such a smug, cocky motherfucker that I would probably take a misdemeanor charge just to fucking smack you and watch your fucking head bounce off the ground. So again, man, we don't gotta fight, but don't fucking run your mouth, because I'm gonna see you again, and I'm gonna smack you in the fucking face. So I just thought I'm joining.
Good thing Ellie didn't hear that. My God, that was violent. Ellie, thank God you don't have headphones on. That was unbelievable. Sean, what do you think about what Sean was saying there?
I'm not surprised. Sean Strickland usually has something, aggressive to say, right?
He wants to smack him in the fucking face. And it doesn't matter if it's in the cage or not. You talk, you got to back it up. So this fight looks like it's going to go down, right? What's the story on this thing?
UFC 268.
She got your hair. Hold on. Let's see. Ellie, what are you doing? Oh. She's trying to pull your weave out.
Weave. UFC 268 is the card that they're shooting for. Takes place November 6th. Could take place at Madison Square Garden, New York City, but we're not entirely sure yet on that one. But the UFC is targeting that card for Rockhold Strickland.
I see P. Diz saying that fight's never going to happen. It will. That fight will happen. Yep. Luke Rockhold, he is coming back. He said he's definitely coming back. I do believe in him. The guy's been training like crazy. And the Sean Strickland fight actually makes a lot of sense for both guys. Mm-hmm. I know we were talking about all these other matchups for Strickland on his way up, but if you bring Luke Rockhold in, think about this. If Luke Rockhold, a former champion in Strikeforce, in the UFC, pretty boy, whatever BS you want to say about Luke Rockhold, if Sean Strickland does beat him, he does beat a former champ, and you may be able to skip the line a little bit. So if the UFC wants to push Strickland, they could have an angle where Strickland could skip the line if he knocks out Rockhold and fight for a belt in the near future. He could be 2 off. If he follows in the rankings right now, if he just works his way up, you're about 3 fights away. You're not, maybe 2. But if you beat Rockhold, it's a former champ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he's been shelved for a little while, but the UFC could say, hey, you know what? We can give him a shot. So I think this fight will happen. I really do. I think this fight will happen. Granted, you need Rockhold to come back in order for it to happen, but you already have the bad blood, the juice. You got the internet smack talk here. It makes total sense. What do you think, Jess?
I don't think that they're going to push Strickland up at all, honestly. Well, not that they wouldn't push Strickland up. I don't think Strickland's going to make his way up because I think he could be maybe one or two opponents leading up to that title contention, but I just don't see. I think with the competition that they've got in the top 5 right now, I just don't see Strickland really being able to, push his way through.
Listen, Luke Rockhold, there's a lot of casual action going here. I know a lot of, some people did come into the sport a little bit late, so they might have caught the tail end of the Rockhold thing. Rockhold was a beast, like a fucking beast, man. The dude was legit. He was great on the feet, great on the ground. The Yoel Romero fight, he was winning. He got clipped, but he was actually beating Yoel Romero in that fight. He was bringing it to him, fighting very smart, and then he got caught. He lost to Blachowicz, right? Blachowicz, is now a champ, a weight class up. Blachowicz is a legit. Look who Rockhold lost to. Look who this man's lost to. 16-5-0. He lost to, this is the grappling thing. It's grappling. Who gives a shit? But Jan Blachowicz and Yoel Romero. Before that, he beat David Branch. And then the Michael Bisping fight shocked the world. But honestly, I do believe in this fight that he took Bisping for granted. He owned him in the first fight, and he probably's like, yeah, this guy's a bum. I'll fuck him up. And what happened? He got clipped. He got clipped in that fight. A lot of people say Bisping stole his chin and yada, yada, yada. That's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. Listen, this chin thing is real for an extent, but this guy's been he's been healed. He's been shelved for a while. He's been able to take care of his body, train. The guy's in fantastic shape right now. You put him against a Sean Strickland. Yes, Strickland's advantage would be that he's active. That would be the advantage for Sean Strickland. If there's cage rust that comes into play, that's not going to help Luke Rockhold in any way. But other than cage rust, in theory, Luke Rockhold should be able to destroy Sean Strickland. He should. That's why this is interesting. That's why this fight makes a lot of sense here. You got these guys, they're yapping at each other. They don't like each other. Let's go. Ellie's adorable. Yes, she is. She is a cutie, but I'm biased. You get KO because of pressure points. Everybody has them, says P. Diz. Up a weight class versus Jan. So only real loss is Romero, 185. Rockhold going to surprise a lot of people. I'm telling you, Jason, I think a lot of people came in on the tail end. Or people just have short-term memories. They don't realize that Luke did you see? I understand. Think about what he did to Weidman when Weidman was still doing it. When Chris Weidman, this is 2015. Chris Weidman was on a roll. He was on a fucking roll defending that belt. And Bisping went in there and murked him. I know Weidman made a big mistake, but Bisping went in there and just demolished the man. Rockhold went in there and demolished the man. So, yeah, that's a Freudian slip since Bisping was the one that went in after Rockhold. But, yeah, Luke is the real deal. He is the real deal, man. And if he is in good shape, if Russ doesn't do anything, like take a part in this thing, I feel he could roll over Strickland. Do I want to see Strickland win? Yeah. By the way, it's confirmed. Look at this. According to Tapology, it's confirmed. Now, I think this is verbally. I think this is only a verbal agreement between the two boys. But according to Tapology, they're saying it's confirmed. So I hope so. I think it's a great fight. I will be rooting incredibly hard for Sean Strickland. Uriah Hall beat multiple champions. He never boosted up like you think Sean will. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. He beat multiple champions, but he lost to Chris Weidman, didn't he? Was a Rockhold fan until he started. Yeah, you know what? I'm 100% with you, Drunk Savage. I said it a million times. When he came in from Strikeforce, I was really excited. I was like, this Luke Rockhold, this is awesome. This guy's going to tear it up in the UFC. And yep, he got on the mic and it was just like, oh, shut the fuck up. Yeah, Luke Rockhold he's something else. Oh, Chubbity Chubbs!
Wonderful.
With a dono coming in.
See, Sean Strickland understands how to promote. That's why I don't feel sorry for some of these fighters. You got to promote yourself better.
Sean Strickland is a breath of fresh air. He is a breath of fresh air. The man does not give a flying fook. He just says whatever the hell is on his mind. He thinks everyone needs to toughen up, and he is 100% right. There's no doubt about it. Even Big Mo when he came on here. Listen, it's good to see people finally, besides myself, it's good to see other people come out and say, enough is enough with all this pussy activity. Enough is enough. I went to the gym today, and this kid, he was a complete sweetheart. complete nice young man. He had to be late teens, early 20s. He's got his mask on, and I'm not going to criticize him for that. Like, if you want to wear the mask, wear the mask. He didn't have to, but he did. And I went to use the machine next to him, and I asked him, I'm like, yo, you using this machine? He's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm like, why are you apologizing? He's like, oh, I'm new to this. And he was like a shivering chihuahua of a young man. And I'm looking at this guy. This is not the only guy I've seen like this. There's a lot of kids now. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they're just like completely pussified. Kid was like a 6 foot tall kid, but he was this brittle, mask wearing, just shaking kid. Like he was like freaking out. And I just wanted to give him a hug. Like, it's going to be all right. Toughen up, kid. Or maybe slap him across the head. I don't know what the hell it was. I don't know what's going on. Femboy, listen, I don't want to ridicule him, but and Jessie says this, like, when she was in high school, she said, she's completely removed. Like, we're like 2 different generations off. So she said she's gone to school with a lot of kids that were like that. But I didn't. If you were like that in high school, you get shoved into in the locker room. Like, I mean, that's just how it was. So you got a guy like Sean Strickland in the UFC who's just like, fuck off. Love it. I absolutely love what Strickland's doing here. So good on him. And if this fight does really come through, I'm all over it.
Wonderful.
Devious.
Ellie is so cute. I'm glad she's past the ugly baby stage. Everybody thinks their baby is cute when it first comes out, but we all know newborn babies are ugly as fuck, looking like a shriveled old people.
Yeah.
After a couple months, they're cute.
Yeah, it's crazy. The beginning stages of, right when they come out of the vag, no kid is good looking. No kid's cute or adorable, unless it's yours. And then you automatically assume. Or my nephews. I thought my nephews were adorable. Then I look back at pictures like, not so much. Now they're cute. But yeah, we're biased. Completely admit that. I think Ellie's the cutest baby in the world, but she's my kid. Of course I think that. It's just the nature of the beast. Thank you, Chubbs.
Wonderful.
There's a YouTube channel that belongs to a powerlifter. The guy has a lot of content featuring RVCA fighters. Luke is in a lot of those videos and the dude grew on me. He's not a douche like we all think. I don't want to plug the guy's channel. Don't like.
Okay. Man, I wish you were right, Kainoto. It's just, I've seen him in so many different situations. The only time I thought Luke was tolerable in the UFC was his bromance with DC. Their relationship was kind of cool. Seeing those. I like a good bromance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got boys with at home that, when I see them again, I'm going to be like, yo, man, like, it's just, we're going to fall right back into that mode again. I'm all into that, making the ridiculous jokes and shit. That's when Luke Rockhold was a little bit relatable, but everything else, I don't know. I just can't buy into Luke Rockhold being tolerable in any way. Big Boy Strength Cartel, says Mike Sosa. Is that the channel? I never even heard of it. Anyway, thank you, Kainoto Chubbs. Appreciate it, guys. That was very nice of you guys dropping those donos. And thank you to everyone that hit the like button. If you don't hit the like button, then you're one of those fucking snowflake fairy pantses. If you do hit that like button, then you got a nice set of kahunas, or you have a big set of vagina lips. And that's what I like in the chat right now. So make sure you smash the like button. All right, we're going to look into the other stories. We spoke about the Luke Rockhold situation. The Michael Chandler thing we touched on earlier, the whole vax situation, but Dana White's cleared it up. No one's going to be forced to get it under the UFC umbrella. It's probably going to ruffle some feathers out there of, the vaxxers out there. I am a vaxxer, but I'm not. I don't give a shit. I couldn't give 2 fucks what the UFC's doing with their thing. I just want to see fights. So if it means, let them. I don't give a shit what they do. So good on the UFC of, not shaming their fighters either way, vax or no vax. It's their bodies, their choice. So it looks like they want to do that at MSG, but I don't think it's going to happen. I have a feeling the way things are going, unfortunately, it's probably going to be in Vegas. So the East Coast people out there, oh well. Maybe next time. Let's see. Dana White weighs in on Bellator champ AJ McKee, says he'll make good on years-old lunch bet. Okay, so here's the thing. I was speaking about this earlier as well. AJ McKee, the first thing everyone wants to say is Will he fight in the UFC? We're finding out that his contract is winding down. And according to what Dana White is saying, if the contract is up, give me a call. Just like Michael Chandler.
Wonderful.
Call me up.
Nobody should have to choose between their profession and an experimental vaccinations they don't or may not need. I retweeted that article you earlier and I got blocked by pansy ass bitches.
Like I said before, thank you, Chubbs. Listen, I'm pro-vax, but I am not going to fucking force anyone to make a choice. My own wife is not vaccinated. My own wife. And I'm not going to shame her for not being vaccinated. It's her fucking choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's got it. We're big boys and girls out here. We can all make our own decisions. To the people out there just constantly shaming each other left and right, shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut up. You know, if the world starts falling apart and we have no choice and everyone's just dropping like flies, all right, well, maybe then we're going to have to fucking do something about it. But at this stage, no, that's not the case. So we move on. Thank you, Chubbsy. Chubbsy Wubsy. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
Wonderful.
So AJ McKee going to the UFC. Inevitable.
Wonderful.
I don't think the COVID vaccine is USADA approved. Is it?
I don't know. Now I'm thinking about XMMA in October. That's awesome. I got to talk to Jesse, but if we can get our asses over to that event, that'd be awesome. In Florida, XMMA, that's where they had the first event. Although we might have pissed off some people. I don't know. Like if Frank Mir is there. But then again, I think Chris Lytle is in Florida, so maybe that is why it was out of state. But yeah. But then again, we didn't say anything that bad. Did we say anything that bad about Frank Mir? I don't think we did. Just he's a little chunked up. Happens to the best of us. All right. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking out loud. Thank you guys. Appreciate the contribution to the show. All wonderful, wonderful human beings. All right, let's go and see what else we have in the news over here. So we spoke about AJ McKee. Now Uriah Hall, broken orbital bone, leads lengthy list of medical suspensions. All right, let's see what the suspensions are. Yeah, Uriah, what the holy hell, Uriah? Where were you that night? My God. Okay, let's see. Who do we got here? So Uriah's out. Gloria DePaula suspended until 9/15/21. No contact. Jared Gooden must have both hands x-rayed or no contest. Okay. Melsik Begdasarian must have left foot x-ray. Okay. I don't care about any of them. All right. Good thing we got that cleared up. Let's see what else we got here. Dana White reacts to Nico Montano's latest fight cancellation. This might not be the sport for her. Oh, God. How do you not like Dana? We got to get Dana on this show. Who do I got to contact? Maybe we might have to reach out to Bruce. May have to ask. May have to pull that string. That's so funny. He's so hard on Nico Montana, and rightfully so. This girl here, man. It's just might not be the sport for her. I don't know why she's out of the fight, though. After weighing 7 pounds over the limit for her most recent scheduled fight, Nico Montana removed... Oh, wow. You know what? I didn't even know that. So that's why she was 7 pounds over. I didn't even know. Maybe we spoke about it. I don't remember. Well, 7 pounds over? This girl's fucking... The best thing that happened to her is the Ultimate Fighter. She somehow gets the belt. The biggest joke ever, this one. What a weird, bizarre story with this girl. 7 pounds? I'm not going to read any more of this. I'm not going to shit on her anymore. I think he's right. I think the boss is right on this. I'm going to have to agree with him.
Yeah.
Mr. Brett!
Come on, get loud. MMA-Holes in the crowd.
Let's party!
Come on, get loud. MMA-Holes in the crowd.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Got MMA-Holes in the crowd. MMA-Holes in the crowd. MMA-Holes in the crowd.
Funny how when people want to abort their little missions in their bodies, no problem, my body, my choice. When people don't want an untested, unproven, non-regulated snake oil juice in their body, no go. Don't let these simps make your choices for you.
Yeah. Listen, we can agree or disagree on pros and cons of that whole situation. It doesn't matter. What's next? What is next? What are we going to say? Hey, the election's coming up. you must vote for this person. You know? Like, it's getting weird. The whole thing is getting weird. Now, listen. If it does get to the point where, like I said, people are dropping like flies, then you got to reassess everything. But right now, it's not the case.
Nico should claim mental illness so that she can be crowned a winner by Twitter. The UFC did the right thing. They spend too much time with her fat ass. She did this to herself and has only herself to blame.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes, spread right on.
She keeps shooting herself in the foot. It's bizarre. She was a champion because she won the Ultimate Fighter. Could you imagine if every Ultimate Fighter winner just becomes champion? Think about it. We were almost close to having, what's his face? I fought Mighty Mouse. The hell's his name? That tall guy at flyweight. Oh, what the hell's his name? I forgot his name already. He's shit. Help me out in the chat. I know you guys will drop it in there in a second. But he would have been a champ. I mean, do you think that guy should be a champ? It's crazy. We were very close to having it happen. Tim Elliott. Thank you, Trunk. You know? Yeah, that season was weird. That was a weird season. But now you know that the UFC can't pull that shit again.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Chubbs!
I know what the right thing to do with her fat ass is.
You know, I was listening back. I think the show is... I think we got to get more sensitive here, guys. I was listening back to the show and I was like, oh my God, man. Like what we say over here. And I'm glad we do say it. But man, oh man. I got to say. I'm just damn proud. I'm just proud that in a time where everything is so oversensitive. Like those sensitive 8 dislikes that happen. I don't like watching this channel. Yeah. in a sensitive time here. I was listening back and I was going on a rant with Cheyenne Buys. When it comes to my mind, I just say it. I am proud though. Maybe we'll catch some heat down the road, but right now we're not big enough to catch enough heat. But at least we're honest. At least we're trying. The moral of the story is we mean well. You know? At the moral story, we're just trying to toughen you motherfuckers up. I mean, it's this soft snowflake attitude that is all over the world right now. It's crazy. And I hope that Dana White stays boss for a while. I really do. Maybe he's not the nicest man in the world to his fighters. Maybe he doesn't pay the people enough. I don't know, but I don't work for him. I'm just watching the content and I enjoy it. And I think with Dana White at the helm, you know, not caring what anyone thinks makes the UFC better. Could you imagine if the UFC was run by someone that bent over backwards every 5 seconds, was like, everyone's got to get vaccinated or you're not fighting. When the pandemic happened, hey, we're going to shut down for 2 years. Instead, he led the revolution to keep life going. Dana White, when you look back, whether you like the guy or not, Dana White is doing something bigger than the UFC. He's telling everyone, just don't give a fuck what anyone says. Don't care. You know? Do you. If you think it's right, just do you. You'll, you know, take the consequences if you're wrong, but you just got to do what you think is right. And what Dana White's doing with the UFC is great. It really is. It's still rolling. Hasn't slowed down one bit. So I hope he stays boss for a long time. I really do. These snowflakes would die in my era. Imagine the horrors of waiting 2 weeks for the UPS man to deliver a package. Yeah, I had this conversation with Jesse the other night. And it's kind of unfair because maybe we're coming off as a bunch of old grumpy men. I don't know. Or grumpy women out there. Maybe that's what we probably are coming across like that to the you know, the millennial generation and whatever. But it just sucks. It sucks because, you know, you shouldn't let everything get to you. You shouldn't. Like, you are in control of everything in your life. You control your life. And until someone starts to include, you know, if they're trying to mandatory everything with vaccines, they are indeed controlling the life. Now, maybe they have the right intention. Maybe they do. But at this stage of the game, I think it's a little premature. But whatever, man. I don't know. It's just a fucked up world. Chandler's right about the vaccine. Whether he's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. He shouldn't be forced. You're not in control, Damula? What do you mean, man? You have in control to hit the like or dislike button. It's right in front of you. You have full control. We give you that choice. If YouTube ever gets rid of the ability to like or dislike streams, that would be ridiculous. You know? But good on Google. I did have a conversation with the people from Google the other night, and they said we're fine. Because I'm getting a little nervous. Like with everyone trying to cancel each other out there, I'm going to sync with this ship, man. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep swinging. You shouldn't be sensitive to a bunch of grumpy old men. Yeah, I think we are. I think we are a bunch of grumpy old men. We do come across as that, though, right? It's like, toughen up, motherfuckers. But you know what? Sean Strickland's a young guy. Sean Strickland's a young man, and listen to this guy.
So I just thought I'm enjoying my week off, and a bunch of people have been messaging me that Luke Rockhold's gonna run his mouth, call me a fucking idiot, and nobody. And, and all these things, they might be true. But I'll tell you one thing, man. Me and you might never fight. I don't care about fighting in the cage for ego reasons. I like to get paid. It's something I enjoy. But I'll tell you fucking one thing. You just can't live in a radius of me and run your fucking mouth and not expect for me to hit you in the face. We don't need to fight. That's fine.
See, that's a real man right there.
But I'm going to run into you at Ruka. I'm going to see you in the parking lot. I'm going to walk up to you and smack you in the fucking face.
See, that's old school right there. Just smack him in the face. That's how it's got to be. You got to smack him in the face. I don't know. It's just nuts. It really is. But I am so sick. I think we could all agree we're sick of COVID. We're sick of the vaccine. We're sick of all that bullshit. But welcome back, Chad Mendez, to Bare Knuckle FC. So not back to the UFC, but Bare Knuckle. Bare Knuckle is not playing, man. Bare Knuckle is just signing these guys. And yes, I mean, you know what? Chad Mendez could still make some noise in the UFC, I believe. The guy's still in great shape. He was a cheater. But I still think he would be interesting to see back into that roster. But going to Bare Knuckle is very, very interesting to me because I don't know what the testing's like at Bare Knuckle, if there's testing at all. So just seeing Chad Mendez just no gloves, just wrapped hands, swinging haymakers, how could you not want to see that? So welcome back to Money Mendez. And let's see how he does with Bare Knuckle. Good on Bare Knuckle of making those moves. Derrick Lewis had a car repossessed by George Foreman. So that happened. Derrick Lewis, he's got the weirdest stories. He's saving people in hurricanes. He's getting into fights with people trying to break in his car. Repossessed by George Foreman. I got to watch the Embeddeds, but I love the Black Beast. Give me some more of that Black Beast. Give me some more of that Black Beast. I'm all over it, baby. The new heavyweight champ will be crowned Saturday night, and I know it's only for an interim strap, but he's coming for you, Francis. The rematch is inevitable. Gane's going down, baby. He's going down. He's gone down. Or Gane will just get a mesmerizing decision. Lewis isn't that funny. Well, I mean, he's not a comedian. Why? I mean, he says funny things here and there. What do you want him to do? A stand-up act? Like, what are you trying to get Derrick to do? Was he going to do a set on stage? He isn't that funny. What does that even mean? He's a fighter. He's not supposed to be funny. He just has a couple of good lines here and there. Just like Conor McGregor. He's not a comedian. They're fighters. Get your shit together. His bulls are hot. He's got hot bulls. Leave the guy alone. Oscar De La Hoya. Midnight Mania, Dana White praying Vitor Belfort victoriously knocks out crackhead Oscar De La Hoya. Don't we all? Don't we all? Oscar De La Hoya calling out like Floyd Mayweather again. Saying Canelo Alvarez in time he could fight him. It's like, what is going on? Dude, what are you doing? Vitor Belfort, please drill a hole into this man's head. Please. Please. I don't know how confident I am. Apparently, it's a fighter's job to not only fight well, but... Oh, I lost you. But also be funny. Yes. Conor didn't make me laugh. Derrick Lewis's lines are just not funny. He's a fighter. If we find what he says funny, it's just we find it humorous. You hear it all the time. No, he's not funny. I don't find him humorous at all. What do you think when his face is drilled through someone's head? I mean his face. Well, that'd be cool. His hand is drilled through someone's head. And then you got some clubbing hammer fist from the top, and then he's pounding on his chest and swooping down. That's kind of funny. That's comedy. That's comedy gold. All right, who's going to win? Let's see. De La Hoya or Belfort? Here we go. New poll coming your way. Who wins in the live chat? That's why you got to be here when we're live. You got to be in attendance. Then you could be part of our live chat polls. So I'm going to drop a poll in here. I'm going to put De La Hoya. Copy and paste it in. And then we're going to put Belfort. Copy and paste it in. All right, we're dropping them in. All right, I want to know in the chat who you think wins. Ask the community. The people must be polled. Once again, a double poll, baby. Double the poll tonight. Put that poster back up. All right, double the poll. Whoa, 50-50. This is going to be interesting. Now, it's boxing, right? I think it's actually a pro fight, too, which, thank God. But, it is a pro fight. It is boxing, so technically, De La Hoya should win, but he's a lot older, right? Well, I don't know. Oscar De La Hoya, is he pushing? He's like pushing 50 years old or some shit like that. I don't know. So, wow, 72, as so far, 29 votes, 72% picking Vitor. I got to say, I'm a little shocked. Belfort for sure. Gane is undefeated going into the championship fight with Francis. Then he's going down to whoop John Jones' crackhead ass. It's possible. It's not impossible. Can I undo someone's vote? No. Once it's there, it's set in stone for eternity. It's there forever. It's a ridiculous poll, though, right? It's incredibly stupid, yes, yet we'll watch. So maybe that makes us stupid as well. I don't know. All right, we'll leave that up there. And the last story of the night, Blessed Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez in the works for UFC main event in November. Looks like the 13th. So Holloway versus Yair. Wasn't that supposed to happen before and it fell apart? I think Max pulled out or some shit. I don't remember. So Blessed versus Yair Rodriguez. Two guys I want to see fight AJ McKee. Just saying. But that's a good scrap. Got Max all day in that fight. Don't even need to put a pull up. We all know who's going to win that fight. We know the best is Blessed. The best Blessed in the game, man. I got to work on my Max. I haven't heard him in a while, so I got to work on my pigeon. Got to work on it. All right, let's see the final votes over here. And it looks like it's a landslide of 71% picking the Vitor Belfort. Good job. Good job. I like the way you think. I like the way you think in that chat. All right, so pinned in the live chat is ESPN Plus. Live chat pinned up top over there, also in the description. So if you're going to get the pay-per-view, use our link. It helps us out tremendously. All our sponsors down below, Head Rush, Ballsy, MysticRootsCBD.com. The promo code is MMAHOLES for 20% off Mystic Roots, 20% off Head Rush, and 15% off Ballsy, ballwash.com. Looking at the thumbnail, we hit every topic. If you missed Big Mole. Wonderful. Not Big Mole. Big Mo. If you missed Big Mo's appearance on the show, his second appearance over here, and I think he did a great job, talking about XMMA, talking about the vaccine, talking about UFC 265, spoke about a lot. Run it back and let me know in the comments section down below what you think of the Big Moe Mo. If you want, go give him a follow over there on the IG as well. And I'll pull it up here for you, Mr. Big Mo. And tell him the MMA-Holes sent you. It's official.bigmo. Official.bigmo on the IG. Go give him a follow over there, and he's got all his behind-the-scenes stuff. And, you know, he looks like he's going to be doing XMMA 3, so that's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Shout out to JBM. She did make an appearance, and little baby Ellie was on the show as well. So if you want to see them, scroll through. And shout out to PPV Dizzle for dropping the timestamps. Interesting timestamps, but they're timestamps, so we'll fucking pin them. If you drop some timestamps and it's the best timestamps dropped, we'll pin them in the live chat. Appreciate that very much so. And see you Friday. Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole. You thought I was dead, motherfuckers. Still here. Still alive. Still a bat.